Howdy my peeps and welcome. Today I'm doing a digital drawing because I noticed I hadn't done one over here on YouTube in like a month, so I'm doing one today. But anyway, before we get into the video, I would like to give a shout out to two folks today, DC Sanders 92 and Artistik. Wow, thank you so much for your comments. I really like reading y'all's comments. And if you would like to be the comment of the week, all you have to do is comment on any video, that could have been you. Also, I'm on Patreon. I do things over there like monthly wallpaper and monthly speed painting, behind the scenes stuff. I'm also doing a monthly studio vlog style video. And by the time you're watching this, the studio vlog should be out also. Well, by the time you're watching this on YouTube. Also, the poll for December should be up as well to determine what December's theme is, So if that's something you're interested in, you can head over there. There's a link in the description. But anyway, so when I was trying to come up with ideas for today's topic, I couldn't come up with one, which was kind of special. So I asked over on Instagram and on Patreon what I should talk about, and Turtle Bun Buns came through. Turtle Bun Buns suggested that I talk about how I come up with ideas. So yeah, thank you so much, Turtle Bun, for your suggestion. Also, this is like a discussion type video, so I would really like to know how you come up with ideas for your drawings. That'd be neat. So I wrote 3 main points here. And this was kind of hard for me to like really think about what I do to come up with ideas. I had to really think on it. But the first one is definitely sketching. When I'm sketching, sometimes I just go on autopilot mode. I won't use a reference or anything. And what I like to do a lot is just sketch my OCs over and over again. And while I'm doing that, I sometimes think about their stories and think about drawings that I could do about them and their stories. So that's one way that I come up with ideas, and it might be my favorite. I'm really biased. I really like to sketch, and I I've come up with a lot of ideas in sketching, and I don't always go back and finish those ideas, but I do enjoy that, and I do come up with ideas that way sometimes. Also, here's one thing that I think is really a really good thing to do just in general, even if you're not trying to come up with original ideas. I think it just helps you become a better artist in general, and that is building a visual library. Not just something you can scroll through references and stuff, but also mental, a little mental library, remembering how things look. To me, an art style is a collection of all the things that you've seen, and it's your way of kind of interpreting those things that you've seen. So to me, it makes sense to take in as many images as possible. And how I do this is I have a few boards on Pinterest. If I just come across something that I think looks nice, art-wise, I'll save it in an art folder, even if it's stuff that's not even close to my style or even close to what I would like my style to be. If I like it and it's art, I save it. Also, I have a bunch of references on Pinterest. I also have an art ideas folder, and I am always looking at a lot of stuff, a lot of images and stuff. Sometimes if I'm, in the mood to get, deep with something, I ask myself, what is it about this image or this shot in this movie or something that I like? What is it about this that makes it work? What is it about it that makes it stand out? Speaking of movies, this year specifically, I've been watching a lot of movies, and I think this is because I started watching movie analysis videos on YouTube. And I started watching those because of I like to write as well, so I was watching those to help me come up with ideas for writing and learn how to become a better writer, and then that led me to, getting into watching movies, Because before I wasn't really a movie person. I didn't really have the attention span for it. I would get bored, I would go on my phone, or I would just cut it off because sitting through a long movie, it's just, sometimes it just ain't it, Chief. But anyway, but that's something that I've really been doing more recently, like this past year, is even if I'm not gonna go watch the movie, like I'll still like watch on YouTube videos about movies, like how movies are shot. Colors in movies is a video that I watched recently about how you can kind of just like create a mood in a movie with like colors, and use specific colors in movies and stuff. And I found that to be really helpful because you can apply those things that is used in movies to make those look good in your art. You know, you can use the two together because they're both a visual arts, like drawing, and movies are, well, they're both visual arts. Yeah, I think. Anyway, so that's another thing that I like to do. And speaking of movies, I also like to watch behind the scenes stuff, specifically of Star Wars. There is this channel, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description, that has like a lot of behind the scenes stuff from the Star Wars movies, and I love watching those because it's just interesting to see kind of what all goes into that, you know, the process of making a movie. There's also some videos in there about the art department specifically, and just like a lot of things, and I just find that to be really interesting, and it inspires me, and inspiration leads to doing something, I guess, and drawing something. So yeah, those are the things that I do to come up with ideas. For the most part, I just sketch and just take in a lot of images, and more recently watching movies, and also watching other people talk about watching movies, or watching other people watching movies. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to talk about this drawing, you know, a little bit, since I haven't acknowledged it at all. Oh my goodness. So I mentioned this. I feel like I keep mentioning this, but I'm going to mention it again. I've been having trouble aligning my eyes properly on my face, and not my face, on the faces that I draw. And I watched a video the other day by Ethan Becker about this like mask shape. The shape kind of looks like a superhero mask, and I've seen it used before to kind of help with drawing eyebrows. You kind of think about that whole area of the face, like the eyes and the eyebrows, as like a superhero mask. I'll try to find a picture I can put up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. So I've seen that before, but Ethan Becker, he described this and kind of did some examples of something similar to that, and I found that to be really helpful, and you know, helped me align those eyes properly because they've been a little wonky lately, you know. I also saw this reference, you know, kind of going back to what I mentioned earlier. I saw this reference on Instagram of this lady with these really spirally curls, and it's like I can draw tighter textures, but when it comes to like really, what do you call those? Do they call them corkscrew curls? Like the really spirally ones? Mainly because that takes a lot of time, and with this particular drawing, I did pretty much the same thing that I do whenever I draw hair. I kind of planned out the basic shape, and then I went in and actually drew each of the little spirals, and then I went over that again and kind of drew whatever I felt was important so it wouldn't look too messy or crowded. And I'm really glad that I came across that reference because I drew this and I like it. But anyway, this is how the drawing turned out. Like I said, I like it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm on Patreon, and speaking of Patreon, Oh my gosh. Shout out to my patrons, Turtle Bun Buns, MW, and Ariana. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for supporting on Patreon. I really appreciate it. Also, if you would like to support me, but you're not really into Patreon, like what is that? You can also head over to my Ko-fi page, or you can follow me on Instagram, or you can subscribe to my channel if you want to. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please enjoy the rest of your day, my peeps.